Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. So in today's video we're going to be building this really neat modern artist loft. So I did this for two Sims that I made, and one of them I made them a photographer slash like painter, and then the other one I made him like a musician. So this is their home, and then they also have a little girl who is a, what is she? Is she a toddler? I think I made her a toddler. I can't remember. I haven't had too much time to play with them, although I have played with them a little bit. But yeah, this one's for my save file. And I absolutely love the way that this loft came out. When I was younger, I was really obsessed with lofts. I don't know. I think it was from watching the movie Ghost. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Ghost. Yeah, I mean, you should have. It's a pretty famous movie. But in that movie, there's a really cool loft that, Demi Moore and Patrick Swayze live in. And I remember watching that as a kid and being like really fascinated with lofts. I don't know if that's what kickstarted my fascination with lofts, but I do remember loving that apartment as a kid, and I think I saw that movie when I was like 10 or 11. That's a great movie. If you've never seen Ghost, which I can't imagine you haven't, but if you haven't, that is a great movie. I love that movie. I love Whoopi Goldberg in that movie. She's so funny. And it's a good one. It's a classic. It's like one of the best 80s movies ever. But anyway, I digress. So I remember though, when I played The Sims 1, I was always trying to build lofts. And I don't know, I just had this fascination with them. And I always imagined as a kid, like moving to New York and living in like a really cool, like kind of industrial loft. So, I mean, yeah, I've always had a weird obsession with them. That's what I'm trying to say here, is I've always had a weird obsession with lofts. So, but anyway, getting back to what I'm doing here. So you see me just kind of building out the outside, and right now I'm using a ton of different platforms to do this exterior space, this backyard space. And I love the way that this came out. You don't see me finish it here in this part. I finish it later on towards the end of this video, but I'm just kind of laying like the groundwork of, where I want to put stuff, where I want to put plants and everything like that. But I finish it more later on, and I'm just doing this front area, and I'm just trying to make it look as best I can like it's blending into the rest of the environment of, San Myshuno or San Myshuno. What is it? Is it San Myshuno or San Myshuno? I don't know. I always feel like I get that pronunciation wrong, but I'm doing more platforms. If you don't like platforms, then you're probably not gonna like this house, because I use tons and tons of platforms on the exterior. I don't use that many on the inside. I can't imagine why anybody wouldn't like them. They're awesome. They're such a great tool, but I do hear people complain about them, like other builders and stuff. And I do agree, they are a little finicky sometimes, but I don't really care. I'll put up with the finicky nature of them, because they just add so much like dimension to a build. now we're moving on to the inside. So the inside, I actually did have an inspiration picture. This is actually what made me really want to do this kind of loft style apartment, and I'll pop up a picture of the photo that I was really inspired by. But I found this picture, I want to say I found it on Pinterest, but it was just like kind of stored in my phone. That's what I do. Like sometimes like when I can't sleep, I'll just lay in bed and like look at Instagram and Pinterest for like inspiration homes that I can do here in The Sims. And I found this picture of this loft and I was like, oh my God, or at least it looks like a loft. And I was like, that is so cool. I would love to live somewhere like that. And I was like, this would be a good one. This would translate good to The Sims. And it did, although I couldn't really keep the same type of like color scheme that they had going on. I obviously changed some stuff around, but that was like the big inspiration for this space was that. But that's the thing about The Sims is you can have an inspiration picture and an idea in your head of something that you want to recreate, but you have to kind of adapt it to The Sims because, you know, there's just some like color schemes and lighting that look really good in like a photo from real life, but when you put it in the game, it just doesn't translate as good. So you see like right now in the kitchen, I have like the white subway tile, but I don't know, it just kept bothering me. So later on, you'll see in the reveal photos, I actually switch it to kind of like a brown chevron tile. It's the tile that we got from Growing Together. So I much preferred that. I don't know, I felt like it added like more of a warmth, and the white subway tile was blending in way too much with that like distressed brick, that whitewashed distressed brick that I have going like throughout the rest of the house. So it looks way better having that. And yeah, I love the way that this came out. I really wanted to make sure I really cluttered up those little shelves up there. And I have that little red shelf thing. Oh my gosh, I love that little red shelf. It's so nice. I've been picking up like so many little like just building tools that are helping me. I don't think I have them in this build, but I finally actually got Reshade to work on my computer too. I thought I installed Reshade correctly the first time when I got this computer, and I was like, oh my God, my game looks so much better, but it actually wasn't even Reshade. It was just my computer having, you know, better graphics than my PlayStation did. But yeah, I finally got Reshade like properly installed on my computer. So you'll probably see like in the beginning sequence of this video, like that short little bite-size sneak peek, so to speak, of my build. You'll see the quality of the game looks a little bit better, and you'll also see in the reveal photos and in the thumbnail, like things just look better compared to how they do right now. But man, Reshade, I thought my game already looked good and I thought I had Reshade. And then when I actually installed it and I opened up my game and I was like, whoa, what is this? Like my game looks so good now. Like what the heck? Because I watch different people on YouTube and I'll see their game and I'm like, what the heck is going on with their graphics? Their graphics look so good. Why don't my graphics look like that? I thought I installed this, but lo and behold, I didn't. So I followed a tutorial video, which I can actually link down below if you're somebody who is playing on a PC and you want to, you know, experiment with Reshade. I found the best tutorial ever on it because I didn't want to use G-Shade because I heard there's kind of some like controversy surrounding G-Shade and it like having like corrupted files that mess up your computer and all that. But yeah, whatever. I'll link that video down below though if you're like me and you're having issues with it, because yeah, that video finally got me to install it correctly. I swear, I'm not like an idiot when it comes to computers. I mean, I built this computer. I'm not a dummy. But there are aspects still of like owning a PC again. I'm a big Mac person. Like I love Mac, but you know, if you want to play games and, you know, really have like good RAM and memory and stuff like that, Mac is really not the best choice. But I do enjoy like Macintosh computers. I think they're actually really good, but I'm so used to it though. I'm so used still to like the operating system on an Apple computer that Windows and stuff like that. I'm just like, what is going on here? What is happening? I haven't used this in so long, not since like I was in like grade school, I think was the last time I really used a PC. Well, not grade school, but definitely like high school. That was like the last time I owned a desktop, or I remember owning a desktop computer, like a big Dell. And that was, I think, the last thing I played The Sims on. The Sims 2 was I was playing it on like an old like big Dell computer that had, you know, it sounded like a plane was about to take off every time you did like anything. Yeah, that was that's what I remember playing on. And then I got a MacBook when I graduated from high school. It was like a, you know, college gift from my grandmother. She got me a MacBook. And I think I remember trying to play The Sims 3 on that. And yeah, it was a disaster. It was not happening. It was not going to run The Sims 3. I've heard like people still play The Sims 3. I've heard it's a great one. I've never really played it because, again, it didn't work on my MacBook at the time. But that thing is like a beast from what I've heard. Like you really got to have like an operating system to run that. And I don't know, I've thought about downloading it now on my computer because I have a you know, good specs on my computer right now. And just to experience, just to see like what was The Sims 3 about. Like people love it, man. I mean, Sims 3 fans, they are passionate. Like they will die on that hill that The Sims 3 is the best game. And I'm like, well, I can't really say yes or no to that because I've never played it. To me, Sims 2 is definitely the best game. I loved that game. I loved the kind of like social dynamics in that game. It just felt like really like fleshed out. I loved the cutscenes too. I really hope with Sims 5 they would bring cutscenes back. I don't think they would though. I'm a little like concerned about Sims 5, honestly. In that latest reveal video that they did where they talked about Project Reshade, they were talking a lot about like emphasizing that it was going to be both on, you know, console, PC, but also mobile. And the idea of it also being on mobile is what worries me. Is, you know, I feel like they're going to dumb down the game a lot, you know, to make it work on mobile. I don't know. I think that's a mistake. If they, but I can't say. I don't know. You know, I'm not a game developer, but from what I've seen of Project Reshade, like I've seen some of those videos where people are like building with it and, you know, they're like rotating pillows and doing all sorts of cool stuff like that. So, I mean, some of the build features look cool and some of the objects that I've seen featured look cool, but you know, I know people are really wanting an open world. I think open world would be really neat, although that's going to be pretty demanding. So I don't know how they're going to make that work for something that's also going to run on mobile. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll just have to see. I don't want to be too, you know, too much of a skeptic, but I don't have like, I don't have really high hopes for the gameplay aspect of it. I do for the build. I think the build and the worlds are going to be really cool. You know, I think that's what they do great with The Sims 4 right now, is I think the worlds are amazing that come with this game. I mean, I think some of them are maybe a little too similar to one another, but the actual look and feel of, you know, just like San Myshuno, for example, is so neat. Like, when I first started playing The Sims 4 again, you know, a little while back, and I saw like San Myshuno for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, if I had this world when I was a kid and I was obsessed with lofts, I would have been beside myself. This is so cool. Like, you know, Sims 2 did not have worlds like this. You know, they were all just like very like residential looking. But yeah, here in The Sims 4, you get, you know, San Myshuno, which looks like a city. You know, you get Tartosa, which looks like, you know, southern Italy. And then you get Windenburg, which, you know, is like Germany. And there's just so many cool worlds. And, you know, there's so many good things to The Sims 4. I hate, you know, to be completely negative about it, because there's good and bad in everything, you know? And I think maybe someday when we get The Sims 5, we'll actually be like, well, in The Sims 4, they actually did this really good. And then maybe we'll start appreciating this game a little bit more, because yeah, I feel like people are just so negative about it. And yeah, like, it's fine to complain. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I don't know. I think it gets a little too much with The Sims 4. Like, people are just so negative about it sometimes. And I'm like, man, I mean, it's not that bad. If you don't like it, just don't play it. But anywho, getting back to what I'm doing here. So you would have seen me just finishing out this little like office area. So I put an area where, you know, the one sim who is a photographer She has her little photo area there, and then she's got little places to hang up her photos. And I use a lot of stuff from the Myshuno, I forgot how you say it, stuff pack, which I love that stuff pack. That was another one that, like, when I was looking up, when I first, started getting back into the game and I was watching YouTubers talk about, the different stuff packs that you should buy and all that, everybody was like, this is the worst pack ever. It's so dumb. Actually, I think it was only like little Simsy that I watched who like did not like this pack at all. And I didn't buy it for a super long time because of that. And then when I eventually did, I'm like, what the heck was she talking about? This thing's awesome. But, it's all about personal preference. And, there's always going to be packs that some people love and other people don't. And there's not really a lot of packs that I don't like. I guess maybe like the occult packs I'm not really too big on, just because I'm not somebody who plays with occults, at least not so far into playing The Sims 4. I haven't played with them. And I'm trying to think, in Sims 2, I don't know. I don't even think I had any of the occult packs in Sims 2. So yeah, that's never really been my thing. Although I do like vampire stuff. I actually grew up reading a lot of Anne Rice books, and as an adult, I hate to say it, but I really love Vampire Diaries. That show is such a it's such a guilty pleasure of mine. I love that show. I've rewatched that show so many times. I don't watch all the seasons though. I kind of pick and choose which seasons I watch of Vampire Diaries. But I love that show. That show just, I don't know, it has a vibe. It has a cozy feel to it. I'm a big, oh my god, Damon. I'm definitely Team Damon. He is so handsome. What is his name? Ian Somerhalder or something like that. Good god, is he good looking? My goodness. So I love that show. I do love Elena too. I like her character. I've heard people don't like her character, but I don't know. I think Nina Dobrev is just so beautiful, and it's a fun show. I like that show a lot. I also like True Blood a lot. I read those books too. So yeah, I do like vampire stuff, I will say. I do like it. So maybe at some point I'll play with the vampires. I've never even done it. I haven't played with the werewolves. I haven't played with the vampires. I haven't played with, what's the other one? The spellcasters. I haven't played with them either. So at some point I really got to get around to that and actually kind of play through that. But overall, I mainly just do family gameplay. And that's why a lot of my houses always have little kids room or, an infant's room, nursery, whatever. And that's just because that's generally how I play. Sometimes I'll play with a group of friends, or, I like to, oh my gosh, my favorite pack actually in The Sims 2 was the university pack. Oh my gosh, I remember that was the best. I loved that pack. I can't remember why I loved that pack, but I recall just being enamored with it. And I haven't played through university either. I haven't played The Sims 4 enough, if I'm being honest. I, just kind of bought everything on my PlayStation, and I mainly bought it just for the items. I know that might sound dumb to some people, but I love building, and that's definitely, why I want to own just all the items. It's not so much because I just want to collect packs just to collect them. It's just because I want to have the different, windows and doors and furniture and everything like that, just for the diversity of it. But anywho, getting back to what I'm doing, stop rambling here about I don't even know what. So right now I am doing that little, it is a toddler. I'm remembering it now that I'm seeing the bed. She's a toddler. Can't remember her name. Don't ask me what her name is, but yeah, I'm doing this little cute little room. It's in this little place that has the little windows, which was in the inspo pic, so that's why I put those up there. But I like it. It's got a little industrial feel, but obviously it's just a cute little kids room, and yeah, it's got everything you need. Little bathroom off of it. There's 3 bathrooms in this house too, so yeah, it's just 2 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. So 1 on the main level, actually 2 on the main level, 1 right below that master bedroom that you would have seen me do a little bit ago. And then there's, 1 right here, and then 1 off the entry area. And I like to have lots of bathrooms in my Sims house because, you know, I don't want them peeing themselves. That's no fun. Nobody wants to pee themselves, you know? And sorry if you can hear growling, that's my dog, Gilly. She always sits back here while I'm doing my voiceovers. She's like my little shadow, my dog. She follows me everywhere I go. She's a huge watchdog, and she's always looking out this window that I have here in my office, which faces my neighbor's house. And anytime they exit their home, she's just like on high alert, and she needs to know what they're doing, and she's barking, and she's just being an idiot, but you know, I still love her. She's my little protector. So now we're moving on to, this is going to be like the final thing that I'm building here. So this is the, you know, backyard area. So I have this little balcony, which is off the kids' room. And I put a little yoga mat out there because, you know, maybe when the parents are getting done taking care of the kid, they just need to unwind and do some yoga. I don't know. I always think it would be cool to like do yoga on like a balcony, but in reality, I would never personally ever do yoga on a balcony. I'd be way too self-conscious of like falling and stuff like that. I've actually never done like a public yoga class. I've only done yoga in my house, and I really enjoy it. And my cousin actually is like a huge yoga person. She's like always going to yoga, and she's like inviting me to go. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm always like really self-conscious of going and like falling or something like that. So yeah, I've never been to an in-person yoga class. I definitely want to do that. But anywho, so you see I would have just put all those loungers down right in front of that pool. And I have this fun little like lounge area. And I put lots of different planters and stuff just all throughout this backyard area. I always like the backyard, or this isn't really a backyard, but you know, the back patio space of this house, I guess you could say. I always like to have like a lot of activities for your Sims to do, just in the whole house in general. I just like to pack it full of stuff, you know? And I put planters back here, and you'll see in the reveal photos, I actually have a certain illegal substance growing in some of those planters. I got the, the basemental drugs mod. That thing, oh my gosh, I love that thing. It's so funny. It adds that like realism, you know, because when your Sims like drink, you know, they actually get drunk, and, you know, they can purchase some illegal substances, and they can grow some illegal substances. Although where I live, you know, it's not illegal. It's legal where I live, but you know, it's still considered illegal by the federal government here in the US, so technically. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there in case somebody notices it in the final reveal photos. There's some certain fuzzy purple substance growing in those pots. And now I'm just finishing up doing this outdoor kind of area on the side of the house. So since one of the Sims is a musician, I wanted to put like a little place where they can play guitar in the public, you know, a little basketball hoop. And I do this really cool little rooftop deck area with like a little stereo. And again, I have to put electronics outside. It like never fails. They always just they break immediately, and I'm constantly replacing them. And I don't know, it's a vibe, you know, it's a definite vibe to just sit outside with like a nice little stereo, little cocktail, and just chill out and have a good time. And why the Sims won't let us do that without the stereos breaking, I don't know. It's frustrating, but there's, you know, also a little space where they can stargaze. I also really want to put a hot tub in, but I don't own the, is it the backyard stuff that comes with the nice looking hot tub? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the backyard stuff. I don't own that pack yet, so I didn't get a hot tub in, but if you do have that, that would be cool to add somewhere in this build. But that's gonna pretty much wrap it up for this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's gonna be up on my gallery by the time I'm posting this, so it's there for you to download. Again, I don't own that many packs right now, so I didn't use that many packs. So hopefully that'll be good for you guys that aren't crazy Sims enthusiasts like me. But yeah, if you could please drop a comment, drop a like, let me know what you think about it, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. And I hope you guys are having a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye now.